He's co-host and unmuted, yes.
Hey, Harma, how are you? Welcome.
I don't think he's connected yet to audio. Give him a sec.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Harma, yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear us okay?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now? Oh, you can? Okay.
You don't hear us?
I cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Huh.
Speakers. Tal, you can start admitting people.
Okay.
To
All right. I noticed the women come very strong. They come in packs. This is very exciting. Especially, we're gonna announce something very soon about next week, which will be very exciting for all women in real estate. Hey, Harma, can you hear us yet or not yet? All right, I think we're live. Tal, if you could check the streaming services just to make sure it's streaming live.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and chat with Harma.
okay.
Can you hear me, Chalk?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I cannot hear you.
Yeah. I wrote in the chat. Tal, you're on the waiting room,
Jack,
right?
I see them, but I can hear them. Do you, or
Yes, I'm on the waiting list and live.
All right, I guess we'll just keep talking so they can make sure they're getting the speakers working on their end, and hopefully they'll hear us soon. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Katie. What's
can
up?
you guys hear us?
Hi, everyone. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
We're done.
We made it to episode 6, and now finally we have some technical issues. It wouldn't have been special without any technical issues. So
It's funny that we've gotten this far with zero technical issues.
I expected on our first one to have a lot of disasters. We got lucky, I must say, Chuck. Hey, Harma, how about now? Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Yeah, that's the one. So you don't need this. Hold on. Not for now. Hold on. I'm trying to think if I could use it. Are you back?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can you push that button, the speaker? Yeah. Okay.
You're sideways though.
Yes, we have you sideways.
Your mirrors are on top.
There we go. Boom. Wonderful. Welcome, Harma.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you guys?
Thank God. No complaints. All right, so I think we are officially live and we're 4 minutes in, which is typically when we like to get started. So I'll just go ahead and get us started. First of all, welcome everybody back to our 6th episode. Can't believe we're here already and we're still in quarantine. But nonetheless, we got one of the best minds in real estate, and Harma is extremely busy, and he's taken the time to join us today and share a little bit about his story and success. So I want to personally thank you for taking the time to join us today. I'm going to go ahead and open it at the end for questions. So as you guys think of any questions, feel free to write them down, and then we'll just go ahead and get started with some questions here. Harma, I know that you got started, if I'm not mistaken, around 2002 or so, roughly when I got started in the lending side of the business. I wanted to maybe ask you to share, like, leading up to you getting into real estate, your story, and what caused you to really get involved in real estate.
First of all, thank you for having me. I wouldn't call myself the best out there. I'm still learning. But I appreciate you asking me to be on this amazing journey. I started real estate was not a choice. It was as a necessity. I had to do something to survive. I had, when I started, it was only 2 years. I was in California. I moved from another country just 2 years before that, and I thought I will be a dentist. And I had to get a job. I was an assistant to a broker, and my career started then. And then I realized, why would I want to go to school for 7 years to impress my mom or my aunt when I can do real estate and be like my broker, who used to be my mentor? And the journey started then, and I never thought then I will own a real estate company or I will have an impact on other people's lives. I didn't know. I just knew that I want to grow, and I was lucky enough that my cousin was a dentist, and second cousin, and I saw her, how hard she worked, and I think as a real estate agent, harder we work, the result is so much bigger than as a dentist. You only have certain hours a day and you can't see more patients. So I'm glad I'm not a dentist. I have a good one now, obviously my cousin, but I will be honest with you, that real estate is the only thing I know. It wasn't, a lot of people say I love homes, and that's why I'm getting in real estate. I'm like, how do you love homes? Like, how do you like every home? Like, that's not what I love. But real estate, it was just a natural thing that fit with my personality and my training that I got from my ex-broker. So
Awesome.
That's incredible.
Actually, I wanted to ask the next question, Harma.
Sure.
I feel like everyone knows Harma. Like, everyone wants to be associated with you. Seems you really value relationships. Any tips you can give to our network on how to strengthen or maintain relationships with clients, colleagues, the way you've been doing it over the last decade and a half?
Thank you. I will say that if you're planning to do this long term, do the right thing, even though sometimes something else, or fast respond, or reactive, or quick money can jeopardize that relationship. I think numbers don't lie in real estate. So I think if you are in real estate and you're going to do this for a long time, numbers don't lie, and your reputation is not easy to build a good one. So it's very easy to have a bad one. And I just treated everyone equally, even though sometimes it was very hard. I just wanted to react or tell them, no, we're done, or this discussion is over. I tried to understand their part, and long term, I've been in this area. I built the company from 9 agents up it's been 15 years. But I didn't go up there and try to be big too fast. So I will say that do the right thing and do slow, because it comes back around. If you do this for a long time, it comes back around. I have agents that I have met, they're no longer in business and their family member is in business. And I have agents that I have clients that are becoming agents. So if you do this for long term, it will fall back. But I will say that is one of the hardest things to do the right thing all the time. And you just have to keep that in mind.
So Harma,
Amazing.
let me ask you, because it's been, I think about 18 years since you started. Do you remember your first deal?
Oh yeah, I did.
So tell us how you got that, and tell us a little bit about your first transaction.
I was waiting for my test result. It was Christmas Eve, or the day before Christmas. It was middle of the week. And my ex-broker gave me a condo to do an open house. And so I would do an open house over the week, because I was his assistant during the day. So every time end of the day, I would go and sit there. And a lady walked in. She used to work for Warner Brothers then. She walked in, and it was the last condo conversion unit left. And she had just got dumped or broken up, whatever the story was then, by her boyfriend. And the boyfriend was gay and came out to her right before Christmas, and she was devastated. And she walked into my open house. She says, "I'm ready to move on with my life and I want to buy this condo." Of course, I didn't come out to her then, because I kept my mouth shut until I closed the transaction. But I helped her buy that condo. And that was my first. And I remember that I didn't even know how to write a purchase contract. And I called my broker and I said, "Can you help me?" He said, "There is no way there's a real buyer. There's a Christmas Eve." And 2 days after, in the office, she was there with a check. And I didn't know you're not allowed to touch the buyer's check. This is for people who've been doing it for a long time. You used to actually managed to get the check. And I got the check and I said, "This is your condo." And then my broker came in and helped me with the purchase contract.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome. And so you went ahead and since that deal have become, obviously a very huge name in real estate. Was it your plan always, once you got into real estate, to grow such a big brand and a team in a region? Or is that just something that kind of happened on its own?
No. If you asked me 18 years ago, knowing what I knew then, would I be today where I am? No. I knew it will be big. I just didn't know what it will. And I really don't think this is big. I think somebody very wise told me 15 years ago, 12 years ago, said, gradually, and then suddenly. So I don't think what I have done, it was sudden. It was very small move, lots of disappointments and lots of no's, and lots of people said, "Harma, are you joining this company? It's just like a church. They clap for each other. It's called Keller Williams. Don't go there. Go to Remax. Go to somewhere else. Don't go to this company." And I took the risk and I moved there. And they said, it's all about recruiting. It's a crappy company. And then I was told, you can't sell in West Side. You cannot sell in Calabasas. Then you cannot build a team. And I was like, I really don't know how to, but I will. And, obviously I messed up for 10 years on that. So it was a lot of no's. And then someone looks from outside, they're like, "Oh, this is great." It's like, it's a lot of small moves to get a big platform.
Yeah, well, I know maybe you don't want to consider it big, but if I read correctly, in 2017, you had close to 900 agents and over 2.5 billion in transactions. I think that's pretty big.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. That was very exciting. So what separates now your team and Harma Real Estate? You have your own brand, it's Harma Real Estate. What separates you from the competition, from other offices? Why do agents want to join Harma?
Well, we're still with Keller Williams. It's we're still in the same umbrella. For last 5 years or 6 years, my team in Southern California has closed the most units and volume over and over every year. However, I'd never had this 15, 20 people in my team. Was just selective a few people. At the same time, I operated as an operating principal of the office. 2 years ago, as we were transitioning, was going through my changes, we decided that maybe it's the right time to focus on growing the team within the company. I had several agents that they were doing a few $100,000 a year, very solid, good agents, and they wanted to get not necessarily be part of a team, because a lot of people build a team because they want to get leads. And that is the worst thing you can do to build a team. So they wanted to be part of a platform that it will help them grow, net more, but be able to service more listings, because listings gives you buyers. Listings will generate more listings, but buyers don't. So how do we get those agents to generate more listings? So I incorporated a Seeds of Success, which is a coaching to develop more listings and farming, and a transaction coordinator who will take the file from the moment you take the listing all the way. And obviously there's a different structuring fee. And then I grow my team within the company. So I started attracting agents that are with production and they just want to go more, because what I always talk about, that you only have 12 hours a day, and then the rest of 12 hours you eat, you shower, and you sleep. So if you are making $500,000 a year and you want to go to 1 million, what are you going to do? Work for 19 hours? You can't. So you have to have a better systems and models. And it wasn't about Harma. It was, I'm not on the listings. It's about them. Because if you hire talent and they're good, but it's all about you as a team member, like you give me the listing, you go outside, they leave you. So I done that before and didn't work. So then you hire buyer's agent and you become the listing agent all the time, and you give them the leads, and then they are not the best closers. And if they are the best closers, they want to be you. So I was like, okay, well, I will remove myself as a team lead and help them individually to grow. So that that has done, changed the quality of the agents that join, quote unquote, Harma Real Estate with Keller Williams.
Harma, by the way, which office are you in right now? Where are you talking to us from?
The one in Sherman Oaks on Dixie Canyon.
Oh, wonderful. That's right by my office. I have a question regarding to what you look for when you're recruiting new talent, when you're looking for new talent.
To my team, or like employees?
For example, people that come on to Harma Real Estate.
There are agents, they do really well, and they're just not a match.
Okay.
Or I'm not a match for them. And first of all, and this is all my mistakes, it's not like I'm saying something because I read a book. I don't get married fast anymore. We got to date for a very long time. I write mutual expectations. The list grows and grows every time I make more mistakes. So we have a mutual expectations written down. I look at people's past. It doesn't have to be just real estate, but if there is a bouncing going on, if in a personal relationships to vendor relationships, it's constantly a problem with someone else, but they're perfect. Because, if 5 people say you're just whatever they call you at, it must be true, because 5, 10 people are calling you, the same problem is happening. So I look at that because I just don't want that to repeat in mine. And I believe one bad apple can damage the entire office. So I've been very selective of that for my own team as well as Keller Williams. Right now, our office is 2 locations, Dixie and Encino, and we are around 320 agents. And the culture is just amazing. So I've been very selective of that. If you're speaking about employees, when you hire, I learned that every genius can do anything. They just don't do it too long if you place them in the wrong position. Mm-hmm. So if I have no money right now and I'm broke, I have 3 kids. If I want to get them food, I will most probably steal if I have nowhere to make money. But I will do anything. But is that what people want to do? No. So when you hire someone who's desperate and wants a job, and you say, I like you, you like me, you like horses. I have a horse. Great, let's get married. You're my employee. Get on, do a transaction coordination job. And what happens after, all the files are missing and you're in trouble because of you made an emotional decision. So I do a behavior assessment and I position the person where they're at. So if it's a front desk position, if they're talkative, they can't be in front because they end up gossiping. They get hurt. If someone walks in and doesn't say hi, and most top producing agents are not very chatty. So then you hire a marketing person who's not detailed. Well, all the postcards will go out wrong and I have to eat the cost. So the behavior is very important and the hiring process is pretty long.
I love that. I love that you say, we date for a while now. One of my coaches taught me very early on that you hire slow and you fire fast.
Yeah, it's called de-hire.
Yeah.
And
that was a huge tip. And another thing is we're always trying to hold on and we're always trying to make something work. It's in our nature to try to, extend it. And that's sometimes a mistake. The one question that I was taught to always ask myself is, would I hire you today knowing what I know about you now? And if the answer is no, there's no point of extending that relationship.
Exactly. It takes a minute to fire, literally. If the answer is no, knowing what you know, would you marry your wife? Knowing what you know, would you buy that car? Knowing what you know, would you hire that person you're in business with? If the answer is no, if it's your business partner, you say, hey, I love you. This is over. Because it's going to be over anyway. So you might as well just tell them. And then the pain starts sooner and you heal faster.
Yeah. Can we actually chat about what you're up to nowadays with your new social media efforts, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook? I know you've got a YouTube channel of your own, right?
Yes, we just started. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but yes.
What's your goals with that? Is it to blogs? Is it to hire?
Ask me the question. Hire what?
What are the goals of having that channel?
Very good question. I don't think I have a goal besides deliver something bigger. I was approached a few times for different things, from online shows or conversation with or being in a flipping things that people do, and I don't feel like I want to be in front of a camera or be told what to do. But I had a producer who's been on me and asked me once that, can I produce a video? And my team constantly said, oh my God, that's what you said. That was awesome. You could just put that there. And I'm like, sometimes say things that if you don't know me, it doesn't sound good. You got to know me. And so I'm like, you don't want to put that out there. People will take it wrong way. And my producer said, well, let's make some videos and go online. And I said, well, if I do, I don't want anyone involved. And he said, well, you will make money. I said, I don't want it. What about if I don't want to make money? I'll pay for the production. I just want my message to be out there correctly, my way. And that kind of was fun, the first couple of them. And it was like, okay, this is exciting. Then I noticed when I tried to be perfect, it messes up the whole thing. So I just made it more natural. And then I realized when I asked more producing people, or I have one coming up on Tuesday about my coach, who's extremely expensive and very expensive. So I was like, you know what, if I can just pay him and whatever he says, I'll put it back online, it will be free for a lot of people. And the ultimate goal is same way that I started real estate. I didn't decide to do something big. I just thought if I do it the right way, big things will happen.
Okay. You know, no one said anything yet about COVID-19, Corona, nothing, which is hilarious because usually it's the first thing we talk about. But I would like to bring that up. And I'm sure everyone's going to have questions about that because there's endless speculations on interest rates, prices, election year, people realizing they need more space from being cooped up inside. Where do you feel that the market is heading? What are you I guess, doing different or preventative, or where's your state of mind on COVID-19 now?
Thanks, Chuck. I don't know anything about COVID-19. I have no comment on bad, good, what's happening. I'm not an expert about vaccines. I notice a lot of my own agents have opinion. Sounds like they're working on the vaccine themselves at home. It's weird. I don't have any opinion. I'm not an expert at it. But I do know that we were heading to recession. There were a lot of people not paying their mortgages. And then COVID came. So now it's COVID's fault. A lot of businesses were not making money. They were acting they do, but now it's going to be COVID's fault. What I think this has done is going to just slip us faster to get where we were going to go. We were in a better position because of the election. Once the election was over, we were going to have a correction. I don't think it will be as bad as 2007. But I do believe we're going to have correction. If you just take the zip code in 91604 in Studio City, 2018 to 2019, we went from 2.4% to 4.5% in NODs. That was before COVID. That was January. Now it's much higher. So when people blame that, I mean, we haven't even seen the consequences of people being furloughed and losing their job. And I do believe what COVID-19 will help people adjust their life, and will also affect people with de-risking. They won't risk anymore opening a restaurant. Let me take a little bit of line of credit out, which we know that's going to go out. It's already out. So if people cannot take line of credit, they won't be able to take the risks. And a lot of people will be moving around. I'm not saying there is no sales. It will be a lot of transactions. But those sellers that they wanted to flip their first home and they knew what they were doing, but the truth is they didn't, but they told people they do, they will stop doing flipping. They go back to what they were good at. So people will have to develop a skill set that what they're good at and focus on one thing. Not everyone can make money in real estate. And that will adjust. We need that because it just went up way too far. I have received just I will say the month of May, I received over 150 BPOs. The entire year from January to now, I received more BPOs for, I'm assuming everybody knows what that is, than I received 17, 18, 19 combined.
Wow.
So I think if you're an agent listening to this, you better develop a skill set to not go during the red light, like what's going on with short sale when the seller says I'm upside down. You better know what that means so you can get the listing and help them through the process. You better learn how to write a purchase contract for a foreclosure on REO and not look like an idiot in front of another REO agent so you can get your offer accepted. You should say yes to every single buyers out there. If they're 5% to first-time buyer to downside, the people who downsize, because they will be gold. And I think we should be prepared for that. I think our local board of associations will have an adjustment in membership, but I don't think we're going to have that as bad as 2007.
So that actually leads me to the next question. You kind of set that up perfectly for me. So do you see similarities to the 2007-8 crash with what's going on now? And are you doing things that you did back then to kind of survive those times?
Me as an agent or overall?
Yeah, you as an agent and even as a team leader.
Absolutely. So when I walk into my office and I see every single agent who's been in the business a few years, they sold their Japanese car and they got a German car, I know we're going to have a correction. That's when an agent who just closed 6 deals and the next thing I know, they have a bench ads or they have a shopping carts and they have never gone to Fiji, but they're going to Fiji, I know there's a correction. I know that people that they have pulled back an advertisement because properties are selling, they don't need to spend too much. and they budgeted for upcoming challenging market to market themselves so they will be the leading agent, that's where I know there's a correction. I have been smart. I have an amazing team leader, CEO that he chose to be in business with me, and he's one of the lowest paid managers anywhere in Keller Williams, and I won't pay more. And he knows. I'm from first day. I told him, I said, you can go with 2 different offices and you will make a lot more money. He deserves it. I just can't pay, because if I stay out of my budget, I have to consolidate, which, by the way, I didn't know what that word was 20 years ago when I was learning English. I was joining Remax in Studio City and they consolidated the next day. So I had to Google that word and I was like, oh my God, that means shutting down. So I was like, I am never going to consolidate. So I don't pay a lot because I know that what's going to happen. And we've been trying to make sure that our rent, our cleaning crew, the water bottles that we give out to clients, every aspect of our business is like minimized so we can create this, because it's not about how much you make, right? It's about how much you keep. And we need to prepare for what's coming. So I never paid a lot, so I don't have to layoffs. However, COVID came faster than what I thought. So it did affect us in a sense of that we got to do much faster. We got to be more proactive. I have to have, because every time recession comes, you have a talk with your landlords, right? Like, hey, I need you to reduce this, or I'm going to do this. I made that call that I was supposed to make in 2021 sooner. But ultimately, my mindset hasn't changed in the fact that we were supposed to do this.
Got it. So Harma, I want to respect obviously your time and still give everybody here a chance. So I'm going to open it up here in a second. So start thinking of your questions. But I do want to ask you one final question before I open it up. If you can pick just one tip of the many strategies and tactics that you know about, if you could just pick one tip that can help agents go out there and get business immediately, what would be the one tip you would give an agent?
Doesn't have to be one. Can I give like few?
You can give a few.
Number one, don't talk to someone who doesn't have a business. They're not qualified to teach you anything. 2, don't sell homes to people you know. Sell homes to people you don't know. Much easier. They don't expect commission back. And you become wealthy. Because if you sell to people you know, you don't know so many people, no matter who you are. So stop acting you do. And last thing, stop if you're new, especially, don't assume. I can't stand this word. Of course, I don't say it out loud, but here you go. Anyone who doesn't know me might not like this, but please don't lie to yourself that I'm very good in social media. You're not good, and your social media is not selling your home. Because if you pull the top 5 agent in the market, their listings goes on social media, they got it before they were in social media. So stop saying that's going to help you. Just psychologically, you're lying because you don't want to lead generate. So get on, call or knock, which is hopefully soon you can knock. But whatever you need to do, get to know people you don't know and sell them the home. And if you want to be wealthy, that's it.
That's a great tip. I actually back that up. I agree with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and if you guys want to either do the reaction or just kind of raise your hand, and I'll go ahead and unmute you. Whoever has questions, please feel free. All right. It looks like Michelle Wells. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
I'm unmuted. Hi, guys.
Hi.
In your opinion, what decrease in value do you think we can expect over the next 12 to 18 months?
I'm sorry, was the question for me?
Yeah, the question was, what decrease in value can you do you expect over the next 12 to 18 months?
I will give you the general. I will say 10 to 20%. Depends which market share you're in. I'll give you an example. On a $2.4 million listing that I have right now, and the seller says, I want to reduce 100K. Like, you may as well just increase it 100K. Who cares? No one is going to look at it for 2.4 to 2.3.
Right.
So Do you see what I'm saying? So if the price percentage on that is going to be a lot higher than a Tarzana condo that is like 490, now it's sold, but it was 525. So I will say 5% by end of the year, but next year to 18 months, 10 to 20% depends which city or zip code you're looking at.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question. Who's got one? Well,
think
Zelene, I'm betting on you.
Okay, where is it?
Go
I
ahead.
just left everyone to try to ask questions, but okay. Hi, Arma.
Hi.
So my question to you is, you probably hear it every day from your agent, that buyers are saying, should I wait or should I buy now? I tell my clients to buy now because the rates are very good for buyers and they feel like it's going to be like a crisis, and the prices will go down. How do you deal with this challenging with buyers and at the same time with sellers that are afraid to put their houses in the market? They want to sell, but they want to wait until it's gonna go away, until everyone goes back to work.
What about you and your role
Questions,
play?
yeah, buyers and sellers.
I understand. What about you and your role play? You're the buyer, I'm the agent. You're purchasing a $800,000 home, doesn't matter where, and you just said, should I wait?
Like they expect, I want to wait, maybe the prices will go down.
Of course it will. So why, can I ask you something? Why have you been looking if you know it's going down?
I'm trying to get the best price. Like if price is today 800, maybe in 2 months they will sell it for 600, like the crazy buyers answering.
Mhm. Well, if it's crazy, you walk away. But if it's not, if it's realistic, it says 800, it will drop and say, first I will agree, because you gotta have their point of view, right? You have an empathy, so you understand them. Then the sales technique. And then you will say that, let me ask you something. Rates are low, they say it's gonna go higher, but forget about what's gonna happen there. You have a job right now. If something changes with your job, you won't be able to purchase, correct?
Yes.
So if and rates are low, do you agree with me?
Yes.
So if I help you find a home that is 800 today and you get it for 750, and I can't promise you there is any, I'm just saying, if I can help you and you are happy to move in, 12 months from now, every house on the street is 750, but you've been living in it happily. You don't have to worry about what's happening in the market. Your family is safe, and this is not an investment. Because if your property at 750 that you purchased 10 years from now goes to 7 million, you're not the only one went to 7 million. Your entire street went to 7 million. So who cares? Will you be happy if I help you and put you in escrow in next 3 months? But if I don't find anything that is a good deal, I don't think you should buy.
Yeah, I tell that to my clients. It's just
That
a
is-
question
that
that I
is
wanted
very
to
solid.
get that from you, like to confirm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That
And
is
go
very-
to their why. Like, if they have a family and kids in let's say you have a daughter and your daughter's name is Allison, and Allison it's just small, you live in a small condo and you want to buy this house. And so let me ask you something. If Allison has a bedroom that is private and she can come out and play, and while the crazy things are happening, election is happening, rates is up and down, and you have a home, but you got it in a good price, would that make you and Allison happy?
Yeah.
I'll go back to their big why.
To the person point, yes.
And if you're a seller and you say, I want to wait, and just say, listen, I am not wealthy. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I think Warren Buffett, we can agree, that knows what he's talking about, correct? And Warren Buffett says, if you can own it for 10 years, don't own it for 10 minutes. So if you're going to sell it in a year, I can promise you that it will not be for what you're asking today. But let me pull something. I'll pull my MLS. I'm like, you're in 91604. Right now, there's 22 actives, and I'm not even putting criteria. This is a home from 1,000 square feet to 5, 22 homes. And then check the active and go ahead and push hold. And just say, look how many homes are on hold. They're all coming in. That will make 22 actives to 39. if you are looking to purchase, how many more homes do you think I will be showing you in 2 months from now? Today, you have less competition. And hold on, one more thing, NODs has increased. That means, I'm sure if you don't know, this is foreclosures. Do you remember 2007? 10-year cycle, we passed 2017. We are way overdue for that. And I honestly, I'm not from this America for 100 years. I moved here 20 years ago, but I'm smart enough to study. For last 50 years, every 10 years, we had the correction. So anyone can know that. So now I'm setting up the seller in a direction that if they disagree with me, they look stupid.
Mhm.
So I'll say every 10 years I have a correction, 1992, 2002, then 2007, came shorter. Now it's a little bit longer. So we have the correction. So do you think we're going to have a recession? So now, and then when you ask the question, you shut up. And then they have to respond to that.
Mhm.
And if they said, no, I don't know, my cousin is an agent, I will say, listen, it was great knowing you. Get the hell out of there because another seller is waiting.
That's great advice. Iris, you have a question. You raise your hand. Go ahead.
Hi, Harma. Iris Goldstein.
Hi,
First, how are
Iris.
you?
How are you?
Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear you. But I actually watching a lot of news and I'm working with a lot of people. And I have to say something that I don't think that there is a connection between recession and the home crisis. And I've been here and it's not even closer to that. And it's not the same situation for many reasons. And when I'm talking to my client, I'm telling them this is the best time to buy. And actually kind of the opposite of what you say, because we do have so many elements here, like the buyer demand is higher, the interest rate higher. You know that 78% of America have equity in the house, 42% of people own the house, 100%, 17 people have equity. The average equity in the houses is 177. In 2007, the peak was 2007. On October 2007, people had houses with 0, 3%, 0. Even I could sell a house to a dog, you know, and that's the difference. And the NOD and all the foreclosure that you may see, or the BPO that you're saying, I think that the bank wants to see what is the value, but there is nothing really in the market right now. So if someone wants to buy a house, definitely yes. And the reason that there is a lot of people now that hysterical. And this moment, they think that the market will go crash like you, and they're willing to reduce the price. So yes, it's the best time to buy. And second, any client that you have, you're always telling them, if you can buy and afford now, you buy it now. And the reason is that you secure a house to you and your family for 3.5% fixed. It's nothing. It's no money.
Iris, is this leading to a question? Do you have a question for Harma?
The question is, no, actually, I just wanted to say that I definitely think that this is the best time to buy.
Thank you for that. I want to just go back. I think the statements you made, some of them I agree, but there are 5 of them together. So just going back, is this the best time to buy? If you are employed and you're getting W-2 and you have a solid job, you can negotiate now and get at the best rate and get a great price. So I'm not denying it's not the right time to buy. And I'm not saying we're going to have a crash of 50% reduction. But here what has happened, and I'm only speaking on my experience, I received more REO listings that it is in the market. If you just pull the listings, how many foreclosures and REOs are in the market now than we had last year this time, it shows their market condition has changed. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to have as many as we used to have, because I'm sure the banks will look at it differently. I'm not a bank, but I have received a call from a bank that says your E&O insurance policy is expired for 2007. And I'm like, of course it is. Because like, we are rebuilding our network of REOs. Well, do you still service this area? I never got that call last 5 years ago. And I talk to other agents that they have that. I rather take the chance, prepare myself for what might come. And if it doesn't have a really good income, then versus to just assume they might not. Because right now, our office alone took 69 listings in month of May. That is amazing for considering the condition of we're in. But I believe we're going to have a softer market just because people that I know in the entertainment industry, this is our market, I'm not talking about national, they are people that they have to make a lot of money. They will not be making the same amount of money. So if they were about to buy, their price just dropped, or they will stop buying because they're worried about their end of the year bonuses. If you work for ABC, you work for Disney, you work for Fox, for any of those studios, and anyone who was in production for producing anything, they haven't made any money. So it's unlikely they will move forward with their purchases. I know for a fact 2 people got canceled. So when I look at that, I assume market will have a correction. It might not be as much, but it will be some. That's just my opinion, you know. And I love you. I respect you. I think you're an amazing agent. I'm not questioning your thoughts. I just have a different opinion when it comes to 2021 correction.
Okay, I think Chantal, you guys have a question over there.
Yeah, well, just listening to all this, I wanted to add the memorandum that's been put on, that right now during this whole stay-at-home order, and the people that aren't able to be making their mortgage payments, they have to make their mortgage payments, and that's gonna create a huge problem in the market with people that don't have jobs, can't pay their mortgage, and that's aiming towards the market crash, I think, as well.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. So I usually don't like to be an expert in anything. I just like to benefit from the opportunity. So I will say that I do believe there will be people that they cannot keep their lifestyle anymore. There will be attorneys, I give you an example. There will be attorneys that they cannot bill hours and hours they used to with 7 other attorneys. I have one, that attorney is paying $9,000 in a commercial lease for his practice, but he wants to purchase a property and he has to go to hard money now because the production of their entire team has dropped. So that person the lender wants to make sure this loan, the lawyer is qualified to purchase a $2 million home, but yet the landlord gave him a lease for $9,000 without qualifying him. Now he's like thinking about bringing another attorney to share the space because he can't keep it. So the same guy now cannot purchase a $2 million unless he has a hard money lender, and he doesn't have more than 20%, even though he has a big. So these people will trickle down. You won't see them now, but we will see the correction and in 2021.
Absolutely, I totally.
So unless there's any other questions, I want to go ahead and we'd like to finish each segment on a positive note and let anybody announce any wins they had for the week. Harma, we're going to ask you here in a second also if you have any wins for the week. I'll go ahead and kick it off. We actually, last week we had Realtor.com on the show with us. We recently started in our lending practice, my partner Michelle and I, we started a small campaign just to kind of test the market for purchase transactions. We've already gotten a few customers that are interested, ready to move forward. I believe Michelle, and I'll go ahead and unmute you so that you can maybe talk about this, but I believe we even have a customer that we need to find a realtor to hand it off to. So we're starting to see that there's a little bit more confidence coming into the market. Michelle, do you want to share some of the information briefly on that?
Yeah. So we just started it last Saturday, and we've already had amazing success. I don't know if it's my great scripting, just kidding, or if people are just being really receptive to over the phone Zoom meetings and things like that. So we've been able to place a couple, but we do right now have 2 that we need to place, somebody in Alameda County and somebody in the Kern County. So if anybody has a referral for us, that would be great.
Yeah, and that's part of obviously connecting here with realtors and really bringing and creating this community, as Chuck always says every week. So if anybody here, either themselves or through partner offices, can earn some kind of a referral fee and connect us with an agent, please connect with either Michelle or myself afterwards. We have a client ready to go and they're actually super excited. So we need to do this today if possible. Anybody else have a win they'd like to share? It looks like you guys are trying over there.
All right, are we up?
Yep.
All right. We have actually a really interesting opportunity for some people who are interested in buying property in British Columbia. Of course, very beautiful property. There's a couple houses already built, but there's also a lot that isn't built. And
it's a gated community.
It's a gated community and
lakefront.
Lake property, absolutely. And this is kind of outside of our normal realm, but it is something we're working on and trying to figure out how to assist in making this happen. So if anybody has any property in British, who wants to live or buy property in British Columbia, let us know.
That's a unique, definitely a unique one.
It's a beautiful, it's not only the property itself is not beautiful, but the homes were built by a German builder. It was a German couple that emigrated to Canada. They bought the land. They bought actually 30 lots, 5 acres, and they developed it. And they only built a few homes, and now they moved away and they're selling everything.
Wonderful. Any, we should, I know we were going to talk about another win. And then we're going to talk about another win, and then we wanted to kind of wrap things up. There was an announcement we wanted to make about next week.
Correct. So, Harma, do you have a win you'd like to share from this week?
Yes. I have Michelle Hirsch and Erica. They joined us yesterday, and that was a huge compliment. So I think that's a huge win for our office and personally for me. So that's my big announcement.
I love Michelle Hirsch. We've been on a couple panels together. She is an amazing addition to your team.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that.
All right, very good. So Chuck, you want to announce next week, and then we can wrap things up?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a win because I've been chasing the state president for the Women's Council of Realtors California. I believe they're about 12,000 strong. They're all women, and we have the founder. Her name is Eileen. She's going to be with us next week. Leor is not going to be with us next week, but I'll be doing it with Michelle. Michelle with 1 L. And we'll chat with her next week and pick her brain a little bit. So it's a win for women in real estate, I would say.
Yes, so women come strong and bring your questions. Harma, I want to thank you. It doesn't go unnoticed that you take the time out of your day to share with us. This was incredible. So thank you so much. And thank you everybody for taking the time to join us. We will see you guys all next week, same place, same time.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Harma. Bye, everyone.
Stay safe.
Bye, guys.